No, sorry.
One is enough sometimes.
Oh. Happy Sunday. It should be Sunday if you're watching this.
Oh yeah, I was
Maybe.
going to say it's Friday.
No, it's Sunday now.
Sunday for you.
You know, maybe you're watching this on a Tuesday, it's fine, but yeah. What the frick? I can't be bothered. Why is it so hard to introduce a video? Hey everyone, we're back with another video. Hope you're doing well.
This video is going to be all about freshers.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like, as we were chatting recently about what kind of videos we wanted to film, we thought that there would never be a more appropriate time to film videos about freshers than now.
Yeah, hopefully maybe some of you that are watching
are freshers.
Maybe
first year at uni.
Maybe you've just arrived at a uni or you're about to leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought that it'd be really timely to do this video now to kind of catch it while it's like still going on.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just going to chat about 5 little things that we would have loved to have known before we went to uni, or little things that helped us with freshers and
navigating those first 2 weeks.
So hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so our number one thing that I think we would both say kind of helped us through our freshers experience and is just a good way to look at freshers is just to remember that everyone has a different freshers experience. You know, some people absolutely love it, some people don't mind it, some people don't like it. Like, everyone's experience is so unique. It is totally okay for you to feel all the different emotions because, like, I don't know about you, but some days I was so excited, like pumped, then like the next day I could go to feeling so tired, like obviously like all the excitement, like
it's just a big roller coaster of like feeling so many different things, and I think you just have to accept that that's how it is and just kind of understand that that's okay and being like, do you know what, I feel so tired and a bit down today, that's fine, because it's like a bit of a weird time.
And it's just like, exactly, it's so overwhelming, like it's new people, new city, new place, and like it's actually just fine to let your body kind of feel like what it wants to feel like. So yeah, just overall I think we would say just take each day at a time. Like, I think essentially it's okay for your you to have had different expectations to the reality. Maybe it's even better than you thought. Maybe it's like actually you're not really vibing with it, like
doesn't live up to the hype.
Basically we just want to say that like there are so many other people that will be feeling what you're feeling either way. Like I remember when I went and it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be like I struggled a bit. I was a bit like, it's just me on my own, like you know, everyone else is loving it. So I think I would have loved to have seen a video of someone being like, actually like,
you're gonna have
it's everything. Okay, like everyone experiences it differently.
And I think it's also in this kind of time so easy to fall into the trap of being like, oh, but like they're having a much better time, or like you
your
know,
friends who've gone
or
to
even the
unis.
other way, like, oh, I'm having a great time and my friend at another uni's really struggling. You just have to be essentially accepting and okay with however you're feeling about it, and like we said, just kind of ride the wave and take each day as it comes, because like it will probably be a different emotion every day, so you just kind of have to like roll with it. But,
like ultimately comparing yourself to like other people's like
experiences
not going to be great, so
it's not helpful for anyone.
Try and ride the wave, you know.
Okay, so our kind of second tip would be that going to uni and the time that you're in, it's such a great opportunity to try something new, experience new things, and just kind of open yourself up to being like, oh, do you know what, like let's just try that, like why not? Like I'm sure pretty much every uni has stuff like freshers fairs and sports fairs and all that kind of stuff where you can see like different societies and, you know, charities, organisations, teams you can get involved with, and it's just like, you know, like I literally started playing rugby at uni. That is so random. Like I've always done sports, but it's like I was just like, like I'll start playing rugby, and it was literally like one of the best decisions I made while I was at uni. And it's like,
did you do that in first year?
No, so yeah, second and third year I did that, and again it's like, even if you're not a fresher watching this, you don't have to be like, oh, I missed my chance in first year to like join something like, mate, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever year you're in, like, just like try something new. I feel like it's such a good, like you're never really going to get this time back, so you may as well just like be like, yeah, why not?
To be fair, Soph and I always reminisce on like freshers, and like obviously, I mean, I'm not sure how Corona will affect the fresher fairs. I'm sure you would still be able to get involved in societies maybe in a slightly different way, but for us we went around these freshers fairs, and like obviously it's a hard balance between try something new, it's like so fun, but also like don't feel the pressure to do it.
To like take every flyer,
like I literally took every flyer, and before I knew it, I was going along to a dodgeball taster session. I was just like, why not? Like, love dodgeball at school. It's just a bit of banter, isn't it? And I went along with one of my flatmates, and we ended up being put on different teams and not seeing each other at all for the whole session anyway. But I was like, oh, like it's just banter, let's go. And then literally got there, and I don't know if this is just at the uni of Birmingham, but it was the most intense thing I have like ever experienced. Like, it was like dodgeball, but all these added rules,
Dodgeball
like
on
literally
steroids.
like, yeah, literally like so competitive, like all these kind of,
and it's mixed genders, so you've
ways
got
to
boys
play
that are
it,
literally
yeah.
like,
and I remember just being like surrounded by all these like competitive dodgeball players. Like, I didn't even know dodgeball was like a league sport. Like, I literally just thought it was like jokes, and then like, so I'm there like being like just not knowing how to like act. And then I just remember like at the end they mixed all the guys and the girls together and for like a fun game, like a social to end the session. And this like guy who is obviously very strong pelted overarm one of the dodgeballs across the court, and it smacked me square in my face, and I literally thought I had
my nose is
what's it
broken.
called? Concussion. I honestly I couldn't see, and no one even noticed. I was literally like, I am never returning to dodgeball again. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just look back on experiences like that, like, what was I doing? Like, honestly, I was
like, how did I end up here?
In freshers, I feel like you just end up doing so much stuff. Like, do you remember we nearly joined Gospel Society? To be fair, I still
We
do
probably
that.
should've. No, but it's one of those things where like, yeah, you might end up in a really random situation like that, but one, it's just like a funny story to think back on, and two, it's like you don't know till you try these things, like, do you know what I mean? So like, I had a friend who like did dodgeball and she loved it, so do you know what I mean? It's not for everyone. So it's one of those things where like it is just, there's so many opportunities, and it's not just sports, there's like random stuff like tea drinking society, or also equally if like that is just so not your vibe, like, or you kind of go to these tasters and you just don't really enjoy it, that's also so fine. Like, you don't have to feel pressured to like be in a club, be in a team, do a sport. Like, you can literally just go to your course, hang out with your mates, and socialise. Like, that is still fine.
I do feel like potentially at Freshers there is a bit of a thing where it's like,
oh, what are you doing?
You're like, right, like, if I don't go to this Freshers fair, then I'm not going to get onto a team, and I need to get onto a team to have a good uni experience. Like, it's like, just take a breath. Like, it's fine. Like Soph said, she loved rugby but started it in second year, so it's kind of the balance of like, if you're feeling it, go for it. We'd definitely like recommend it. Like, it's so fun to like try new stuff, but if you're not, then
equally
just chill.
That's so chill. Okay, so our third tip, we're gonna dive in a bit deeper here, but it's basically that like, be prepared to kind of go on a bit of a journey of discovering who you are, and I guess this does start in Freshers. So maybe that's like how you fit in a friendship group, like how you are in social settings, like academically. So like, for me, the school that I went to before I came to uni, where I was doing like my A-levels, like, not like trying to brag, but like, I was one of the like smarter people in my year. Like, I was like, like, I was like, you know, would get quite good grades, and like, that was something that I was like, oh yeah, like, that's kind of part of who I am. And then obviously you come to uni, everyone's doing the same course, and they've had to get like the same grades, if not better grades than you to come. So you're kind of there like, right, so I'm basically at the bottom of the class. And you're like, okay, I'm not smart anymore. And then even stuff like in friendships, it's like when you're in first year and you don't know people as well, you're kind of maybe having small talk conversations, or you can't have as deep conversations, you don't know people as well. And I was like, I feel like I'm not always getting to be my full self. So like, at home it's like, oh, I was always like making jokes, or kind of being like the entertainer of the group, like the funny one, and I was like, I don't feel like this is the role I'm taking on in my friendships when I was at uni, like in first year. Like, you're in a social situation and like someone else is the one cracking all the jokes, and you're like, that was me. R.I.P. to the girl I used to be. Literally. But that's the whole thing, is that like, sometimes, and I feel like some of that was partly just the fact of like, I was getting used to being in those friendships, but also,
it's so true though,
maybe it's like, well, do you know what, like, maybe I'm changing into a bit of a different person, and like, that's not the role I'm going to take in friendship groups, or like, maybe I'm okay with like being like not the smartest person, and you just kind of have to like acknowledge that like, I'm in different situations, and that doesn't always mean that I'm going to be the same as I was when I was like 14.
And also you're changing as a person as well. Like, I think uni is actually such a good time where you're like, you've been with the same friends, you've been in the same context for like 7 years or whatever, and then you're now in this completely new context which you haven't probably experienced in your life so far, because going to secondary school you probably still knew people from your primary school, like where you've met all new people, and it's actually like such like a great opportunity to kind of think about like who you want to be. Like, I think what we're trying to say is like kind of embrace that and just like be okay with it. Like, it's okay, like you're meeting new people, it's fine if like you're not as confident as you usually are. Like, one thing for me that I learned actually coming to uni is I kind of had a view of myself going through secondary school as being quite an introvert, and I was always like, oh, you know, like in a group setting, like I don't really speak that much, I'll let other people speak, like, you know, I don't feel necessarily confident to talk a lot in front of like loads of people. Like, I would always say my like optimum group was like four people, and then I was like at my prime. But then like I remember I came to uni and was having some chats with Soph, like even in first year, and I was like, yeah, like I just think I'm quite introverted, and Soph was like, what? Like,
I was like, who are you talking about, please?
Like, she was literally like, no, you're not. Like, and I just remember it so distinctly because I was like, oh my gosh, like I've kind of told myself my whole life that I'm like quiet, and I'm not. Like, literally, like, and then I kind of like almost like being free of that kind of like label that I'd labelled myself with. I was like, I then noticed like in all my social situations, like I wasn't that person, and like sometimes it just takes a different environment to like discover new things about yourself. But it's literally like, just try to view it as a positive thing rather than like a negative one. And
and just be open to being like, right, like I'm here, fresh start, let's just kind of work out like, who am I, what do I like, what kind of people do I want to hang around with.
And I think like ultimately your identity and your personality does change a lot throughout your whole life, doesn't it? Like, you're always growing, so it's like, just embrace it. Embrace it. So our fourth tip is going to be one addressing FOMO, which is like the fear of missing out. And I think we've both said that there are probably going to be numerous times throughout your freshers where you feel like if you don't go to something, you're going to really miss out. And we just basically want to say that like, the really reality is that you're really probably not. Like, I think, you know, freshers is such an intense time. Like, it is tiring, isn't it? Like, obviously I know for a lot of you guys doing freshers at the moment, through this interesting season like of corona, I don't know exactly what your freshers will look like, but I can imagine it's still intense just being around people the whole time, like every day waking up thinking like, oh, like we were saying, like, do I need to go to a freshers fair, do I need to like do some more bonding with my flat, and we just basically want to say that like
if you want to have an early night, just have the early night, because it's one of those things where like realistically all these nights, like every single night that I had in freshers was an averagely good night. So it's not like even now 4 years later I'm going, oh, do you remember like night 3 at freshers, oh yep, so and so wasn't there, oh they missed out. Like realistically, this is the start of your uni time. You're going to have 3 years of going on nights out, hanging out with people. Realistically, if you want to have a bit of self-care, bit of time to yourself, watching Netflix and just hanging out in your room, like just do it, because it's like not that deep if you just don't want to like sit in your kitchen and talk.
I think people have the view that like freshers is where I'm going to bond with people, and if I don't make those connections now and don't like get involved with all the memories of every night out, then it's just not gonna happen.
My whole time at uni's ruined.
Like, obviously, like it is a really great opportunity to like make those like first like impressions and first friendships, but like I think like often you can get to the end of your freshers and just feel exhausted, or like everyone's got freshers flu, let's be honest. So like, if we could say something to our like fresher selves now, it'd be like, look after yourself. Chill.
Like, and also it's like we were saying,
do a bit of self-care, you know.
But it's like we were saying in the earlier points, just listen to your body. And like I do wish not like, okay, I'm making it sound dramatic, I wasn't like not taking care of myself at all, like I was, but not as much as I could have. Like I just wasn't slowing the pace of things down, and I was like, you're just trying to keep up with like, oh quick, like they said they're going out, like let me just like throw some clothes on, and like you just feel rushed, and like sometimes it's like, no, do you know what, like I'm just gonna chill this morning, like I'll see you in the afternoon, like, and it's just having the kind of oh, what's the word? Security.
Yeah. That was it. Oh my gosh, massive mind blank.
No, but it's like it's having the security in yourself to be like, I'm okay with like not doing 50 things in a day with everyone. I'm fine with like, do you know what, I want to have a morning to myself and just like gather my thoughts.
Equally, you know, if you are loving it, then go for it. Like just basically like each to their own. But I think ultimately this tip is just about like caring for yourself and just like making sure that you're staying physically and mentally like healthy. We need to treat our bodies well, don't
our
we?
bodies are temple,
our bodies and our minds.
Okay, so our final tip number 5
final
is basically just to be really open with like making friends, and the fact that like you can make friends not just throughout the whole of your first year, throughout your whole time at uni. You're always meeting new people, and like obviously there's some people who will like meet the people that they live with in their flat and like go through the whole of uni having them as their best mates. And like for me, like some of the people I lived with in first year I'm still so close to now, but at the same time, don't like box yourself off to be like, right, I've got my friends, these are my only friends now, because you're gonna miss out on like, because there's literally thousands of people at most unis. It's like there's gonna be so many of the people that are probably sick and like such good people that you're like, oh, you don't want to close yourself off from being friends with them. Like if I'd like bonded so like I did, and like my flat were really good friends at the start, but if I'd literally been like, right, that's it, like I wouldn't have been friends with you, the girls that we lived with last year, like my
like
rugby friends.
We only became like close friends in kind of the February after the September of freshers. Obviously, again, because some of you guys are going to be doing freshers at this time, I think you're only allowed to kind of be with your flat.
Yeah, or we don't know, but
yeah. Like hopefully as like the restrictions ease and stuff, like you will be able to meet people. And I think even in this context, like maybe it's like joining sports teams or like joining little like societies or going to little things like that could be even more helpful for you to make new friends. Like some people do just absolutely love their flat, and like that's their main group of, I know lots of people who that has been their main group of friends, which is amazing. But yeah, just keep your mind open, really, like and I think one thing that definitely stressed us out, and just want to say for anyone out there who it may be
probably most first year students have felt the stress of this,
is that you obviously have the pressure of choosing people that you want to live with in the second year. So for us in Birmingham, like I knew people really that were literally choosing their houses in October.
Yeah. And bearing in mind you get there halfway through September, so you have literally been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I literally distinctly remember like you say, 2 weeks into uni, you know, freshers just coming to an end, I had a massive panic about who do I want to live with. And I literally remember like ringing my parents and being like really anxious, like I have no idea who I want to live with, like like what do I do, like we've not had any discussions in our flat, what if my flatmates want to live with other people and I don't know anyone else, like. But essentially, like what we want to say is, no matter what conversations are going on or like the pressure that you feel, you do not have to choose who you live with in freshers.
No.
Like you just do not have to like think that much in advance. Like I think realistically I actually got my house in like November. And yeah, just off the back of that about kind of making friends and wanting to know who your friends are, we also like something that Soph and I both believe is that like whether you're a Christian or not, just wanted to say that you have a friend forever in Jesus. And like we believe that like we've got a God who kind of knows our every thought, knows like our every feeling, like sees everything that other people don't, like those moments when you're in your room and you're feeling like lonely or whatever, like he's there with you. And for both of us, like I think we would both say that like Jesus is like the only friend that is that faithful. So yeah, just like if you are struggling, like if you wanted to message either of us or DM us on our Insta and have a little chat about that, like we'd love that. And yeah, just wanted to encourage you guys.
Okay, so those were like the 5 tips that me and Rach thought would be maybe a bit helpful for you guys that are in freshers or starting at uni this year. And obviously we know it's such a weird time with Corona, we don't really know what's going on. I'm sure all of your uni experiences are a bit weird at the moment, but hopefully some of these points that we've said are still applicable and that you can maybe like take something from them, even if things are
or just throughout your first year as things go more normal again.
But yeah, like Rach said, feel free to message us about anything on the Instagram if you have any questions about uni or anything
or if you just want to chat, like we love a chat, so just send us a little DM, honestly.
But yeah, hopefully see you in the next video.
Hope you guys found this helpful.
Have a good week.
Bye.